I'm here in Titusville, Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, at the Drake Well replica. It's at the museum here, a museum that will tell you all about the wonders of the oil industry, not so much about the global warming heat dome that I'm under right now. But this is, in 1859, the site where Colonel Drake proved the commercial viability of oil extraction at an industrial capacity. This was something that here and in many locations around the world for thousands of years had come seeping out of the ground, and people would use it for various things. But as the Civil War approached and whales were running in short supply, there was suddenly a market for significant industrial scale production and sale of kerosene, and soon there would be a market for some of the other byproducts of petroleum as well. And he was able to prove with this well that it was in fact possible to get significant quantities out in a much more organized way than people had been doing for thousands of years. And this makes this the birthplace of the petroleum industry, the oil industry, and a lot of the other related products. It also is the birthplace of the second industrial revolution and what we would recognize as modern industrial capitalism. The corporate form emerges about 125 miles away with John D. Rockefeller, one of the Cleveland, Ohio oil refiners, who very quickly discovered that this was an industry that, although it's very technologically intensive in a way that can avoid a lot of the labor issues that had plagued previous fossil fuel industries, such as coal, things like pipelines and some of the drilling technologies pretty much run themselves once they're set up and running, and that means that you don't need to deal with as many personnel. There was also too much production happening, too much refinery capacity happening, and so forth. And so by buying up the struggling producers and refiners when there was a bust, he could horizontally integrate, buy out the competition. By buying the different parts of the supply chain, he could do vertical integration. And by having all of that under his control, he could control the amount of refinery capacity, control the amount of production happening. And the oil industry, as he conceived of it and as has existed since, does not exist to produce as much oil as possible, as fast as possible. It's actually to do the opposite, to kind of control the flows, control the amount that's getting out there on the market all at once. It's much more stable for the industry and avoids some of those boom-bust cycles. He forms interstate corporations, kind of building on the work that had started to be done by the railroads just before this happens in 1859. And so over the course of the 1860s into the 1870s, we see multi-state and then multinational corporations that are selling the oil that's overwhelmingly produced here in Pennsylvania all around the world. And it's a new form of corporate governance and decision-making in the economy.